Welcome everybody to another episode of the Hylton Forrester Show. I'm here with my good friend Dez Mighty, and before we start with my questions, Dez's background is in tech. He's classed as a creative tech person. So Dez, first of all, would you like to introduce yourself and what you actually do for a living?
At the moment, I'm in my podcast studio with you, and we're just kind of like going to talk about, stuff around what I do and stuff like that.
Beautiful.
So at the moment, I'm what I call an AI strategist, where I help businesses understand how to use AI in their business. Prior to that, I was in tech, selling solutions to companies like General Electric, Barclays, Lehman Brothers, Bloomberg. Had some massive accounts. And then I've also been a creative in terms of photographer. I'm an award-winning filmmaker. So I've got quite a varied background. So I now call myself a tech creative because that kind of seems to sum up everything that I do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you've got a wide range of tech background. And generally nowadays you're focusing on helping small businesses, I hear. So if a small business came to you, what is the procedures of what you would actually do with them?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I'd say small businesses, we're going to look at businesses within a sort that they're going to have a particular type of turnover.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the figure, but a business that's relatively, a medium-sized business more than small, but small businesses do have conversations with me.
Okay.
And what I do is I find out if the company's AI ready. So that involves maybe an audit, that involves maybe some questions around who they are and what they do, just to find out, because AI is this big, massive word that everybody's kind of like, everybody's looking at it and talking about it. But when you go into a particular type of business, they might not have any need for AI at all.
Yes.
But everybody's thinking, right, this buzzword, is it going to affect me? Is it not going to affect me? There's some businesses that can live perfectly well without AI. How long that will be is how long is a piece of string.
Yes.
This technology is all encompassing. It's starting to impact everything that we do.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense to understand, number one, whether it would be relevant in your business and what difference it could make to your business, because there's lots of people selling solutions right now. There's solutions around WhatsApp, and if you're a plumber and somebody calls you, there's this thing about, if we miss a call, we want to be able to win that call back. But then if you think about it, if you're a plumber and somebody calls you and they've got an urgent need, is there a likelihood that if they can't contact you that they're going to call you back?
Yeah.
And these are some of the things that a lot of companies don't think about. But then you've got people who are giving you solutions. Never miss a call. And it's like, is it really relevant to your business? So you're now paying £50 a month to never miss a call. But if you miss that call, is it likely that you would win that business? Because if I've got an urgent need as a plumber or electrician or as a customer, and I don't get you, I'm going to go into the next two or three to find out, to get somebody in quickly.
Yes.
To solve my problem. And I think the conversation at the moment is a little bit confusing when it comes to trades, and I probably help them navigate that conversation.
Brilliant. And with my background being in construction, I know for myself, I'm learning a lot of AI, and it's kind of like getting me to think differently about my processes, asking ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, these different things. But what are you seeing a lot of people changing towards in that area?
Do you know what? There's interest in this technology, primarily because it's being pushed so hard.
Yes.
Right. Every day you hear about job losses. You hear about you need to embrace it. You hear about all these people who, like Elon Musk and all the other names that are associated, Microsoft, Grok. You hear about all of these different platforms and people, and it's kind of like one of those technologies where, yes, you feel like you need to jump on board and do something, but I think in this country it's about 27% of businesses have adopted AI.
Yes.
You know, everybody's got some type of affiliation to it in terms of, you know, they might send emails via AI, they might write letters. But generally what I've found is most people don't really know what AI could do for them.
Yes.
Right. There's so many different faces to artificial intelligence. Most people have just got a grasp of maybe 2%, or maybe I can't even say 5%, perhaps 2%
Yes.
of what its capabilities are.
Yes.
And then when people come to me and we start talking about their business and how they operate, and then look at some of the solutions that could have an impact on their business, they're always in shock because they've never seen the types of tools that they might be introduced to.
Okay.
So everybody knows about ChatGPT. People are now talking about Claude.
Yeah.
Or they might be talking about Microsoft Copilot. And there's different reasons why you might use all of these platforms or any of these platforms. So if you're an accountant or somebody who's dealing with financial information or dealing with a lot of client data, there is a move towards platforms like Microsoft Copilot because they've got compliance and GDPR built into their system.
Yes.
Where there's a fear, I think that fear was spawned from ChatGPT, that it's going to be using your data.
Yes.
It's quite interesting because you could literally switch it off, but switch off it using your data.
Yes.
But a lot of people are using ChatGPT for free.
Yes.
And that's the problem. The problem is you don't have as much control if you're using the free versions. But most people wouldn't know that. And then when you see how simple it is to switch it off, you're always in a state of shock.
Okay.
I'd say that most people that I come across, they're using ChatGPT or they're using Claude, and they're still using it like it's Google.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So whereas what's happened with AI now, it's become what's the word is agentic.
Yes.
Which means it now will do things for you.
Yes.
You just set it a task and it will do that task. Most
Yes.
people are quite shocked when they see it actually operating like that.
Yes.
But I would say most businesses are still stuck in the chat style of Google.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't really know any.
Absolutely. The word agentic, can you expand on that? For instance, I would hear that word, but to embrace that word, what does it really mean?
Well, all it means, literally all it really means, if we try and keep it in a very simple frame,
Yes.
is your computer or AI is now helping you to do things. So, for instance, I might want to check my emails.
Yes.
Right, or I might want to understand what's happening, or I might be building a tool. It will help me to build a tool. It will help me to check my emails. It will help me to understand what's happening in my life if I want to set it that way.
Yes.
Right, so instead of it being chat, it's now doing things automatically for you.
Right.
So if you look at it from a perspective of every day I get a briefing of how many clients I've got, how many people I'm talking to today, and what meetings I've got.
Right.
So that spins that out to me every single day, so I can wake up in the morning and I know what's happening.
Yes.
Right. You've got other people where it's just running your day. It takes over your computer.
Yes.
And does whatever you need it to do to make sure that you stay on top in your game. So
yes.
It's just making you become. It's helping you to do things automatically.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So you're setting your systems up. So this AI system now will help you to do everything that you need it to do.
Yes.
You're not talking to it now. You're giving it its instructions.
Yes.
It knows what to do, and it's giving that information out to you every single day.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Dez, because I've recently set up an AI coach for myself, and I kind of have it in the morning where I would have 3 things what I'm going to do for the day from yesterday and today, and I would just say to the AI, good morning, and it responds with, what are the 3 things you're going to do today and get done? And it kind of forces me to write them out first of all the night before, and then execute on them the day after.
Right.
is that what you mean by the agentic kind of? It pushes you to think differently and get more efficient, more production.
Absolutely, it's just helping you to become. It's giving tasks. Like, so you might have a lot of mundane tasks that you don't like to do. You can give all of that to AI.
Okay.
And it will perform those tasks.
Yeah.
Right. So it's performing them on your behalf. You've given it a set of instructions. You might say every morning at 10 o'clock, I want to get X, Y, and Z, whatever that is, and it will deliver that for you.
Beautiful.
You might decide that you want to build something. Let's say you want to build a website. You give it all the instructions, it'll build a website for you, and then you just keep tweaking and changing it.
Yeah.
So now it's not you having a conversation and it giving you an answer. Now it's you saying, I want you to do this, and this is the output that I want, and this is the time frames that I want it in, and it will do it for you.
Yeah, yeah. How do you get from, for instance, me being physical, as in a builder, contractor, running a small business? I hear that the AI can do all the admin, computer work, all that kind of thing, but the things on site, organising men, organising structure, workflows, can you expand on that area? How could it help towards that?
See, I suppose it depends on how in depth you want AI to be in your business, right? So if the businesses that are not really going to be impacted by AI are the ones where you're dealing with, it's a lot of human interaction.
Yes.
Right. So if you physically got to, communicate with people, AI is not going to really be that much use. So if we look at jobs, we look at, say, I was talking to someone in a legal firm the other day, and they literally are dealing with criminology, right? So it's like, that's going to be, you're going to have to be sitting in front of someone to communicate with them.
Yes.
But the admin sides, the paperwork intensive sides,
yes,
that can all be taken over.
Okay.
By AI. Interactions between human beings at this moment in time, I don't think it's going to have. But then saying that, you do have some companies now where they're having an AI CEO. So from a decision making perspective, then you've got your human CEO and an AI CEO.
Yes.
And then what the decisions come to obviously help you to make a better decision.
Yes.
But when it comes to communicating directly with individuals, I don't think we're at that point yet. Though someone might shoot me down in flames and say that we are.
Oh, wow.
But I think for human interaction, for you physically telling people what to do, you could create applications that ping people and tell them what to do.
Yes.
But I think you're going to get more out of people when you're having a conversation with them.
Yeah, yeah. When you mentioned the CEO or someone told me that if you imagine the CEO is Steve Jobs, could you get the Steve Jobs character involved in decision making in that role? Is that something what can be done, or?
No, absolutely. I mean, literally with some of the platforms, let's say we look at Claude, which is one that a lot of people are switching over from ChatGPT to.
Yeah.
However, ChatGPT and Claude are always in this constant race.
Yes.
Right. So at the moment, Claude's on top. I think GPT 5.6, if that's the right one, everyone's singing its praises. So you could create, let's say that I created an advisory board. Right. So let's say I want to set up a business as an entrepreneur and I want to make money. Right. So I could look at I could look at a number of different characters. So my advisory board includes Sara Blakely, the woman who she set up Spanx.
Wow, yes.
Yes. I'm trying to think who else. Gary Vaynerchuk, who's really all about posting and social media.
Yes.
And I think there's a couple of other people in there. I can't remember their names.
Right.
But what it means is every time I decide I want to do a task, I could ask my advisory board what they think of this task.
Right.
And how should I go about doing it.
Okay.
So what AI's done is it's taken all the data about these people.
Yes.
And it's establishing how they would respond to a particular type of situation.
Yes. Yes.
So now what you've done is you've taken these people, these individuals, all the information that they've got, and now they become part of your board so they can advise you.
Wow.
And that's quite powerful. So it depends. If you're if you're somebody who's starting off a business and you're not really that clear about the business.
Yes.
But there's people, so let's say Warren Buffett, let's say you're going into trading or, you know, and you want to get advice from the top traders. It's not direct advice, but it's kind of the advice where AI is interpreting what type of advice these people will give you.
Yes.
So you could have Warren Buffett on your board, Steve Jobs on your board, Elon Musk on your board, right? And literally the AI will interpret how these people would respond to that particular type of situation.
Yes.
But now they're responding to that type of situation based on what you want them to do.
Yes.
So it's a very powerful, if you set that up as a tool,
right,
that's an incredible powerful tool.
Right. And you can use that through Claude and some of the others. And get them to, you can set it up or come to you for advice with that to set it up.
I mean, look, you could come to me to get advice on it. You know, it's a fairly interesting thing to set up. There are particular steps that you need to go down to get it right. However, once it's done, it's incredibly powerful because you literally feel like every day you could actually say, every day, they give you tasks as well. So your advisory board might give you tasks. So if you set it up to say, every day I want you to give me certain things to do, then every day you'll get certain things to do based upon who, let's say Warren Buffett is going to tell you, right, you know, explore the FTSE 100 or whatever it is they tell you to do. Then you do that, then you check back in and say you've done it. So I had a situation where my advisory board, Gary Vaynerchuk, looked at my LinkedIn. So again, agentic means I could say, have a look at my LinkedIn, tell me what you think. Came back with, you're not doing enough on LinkedIn. Okay. You've only got this level of blah, blah, you know. So it's very interactive in terms of what it could actually do.
Yes.
And so then Gary Vaynerchuk will say, you need to do this. You need to put this in place. You need and then it give me a time frame to do it in.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of like a knowledgeable person, but now I'm on steroids because I've got these people behind me.
Wow. I can see the power of that, how it could propel you forward or be coached into that decision very quickly. That's fantastic. What about the area of security? Because I know it's moving so quickly. From my understanding, there's going to be challenges with that to control certain things. What's your view on that, Des?
Secure. I mean, look, we've created a technology that I think recently we had Claude bring out Mythos and Fable. I don't know if you heard of those.
Yeah, I've heard of. Is it Fable 5?
Fable 5.
Yes.
And Mythos.
Yes.
So when they brought Mythos out the first time, they only sent that out to allow certain companies to use it.
Yes.
Right, because they said it's really dangerous. Well, what does really dangerous mean? I'd assume that it means that it could crack any code. It will go into anything and be able to, you know, do whatever it is some nefarious person might want to do. So that's why they gave all these companies a head start.
Yes.
So Fable 5 came out and Donald Trump decided as president to pull Fable 5 and Mythos because they felt they were quite dangerous. If we look at AI and we say to ourselves, I suppose the thing that I'm on at the moment is I like Frankenstein. Right. So if we look at Mary Shelley, she wrote a book called Frankenstein.
Yes.
In 1888.
Yes.
And she wrote the book as a warning to humanity.
Okay.
Right. So we've just created a human being, or some type of humanoid, made from all the different parts of lots of different humans. And if we look at the situation we're in today, we've created AI. AI has been around for 50 years, but not in its current form. And that's lots of different bits of information thrown together. It's very similar to Frankenstein. And from a security perspective, I think we're on the cusp of something that could be extremely dangerous for humanity or extremely exciting for humanity. I don't know which.
Yes.
So there's a race at the moment for, at the moment they talk about AGI, which is automatic general artificial general insurance, artificial general intelligence, and then there's also a race for artificial super intelligence, which is called ASI.
Right.
So the race itself is between China and America, because whichever country reaches ASI first is going to have massive advantage over the other.
You're right.
So from the West perspective, they're not going to allow China to become the first people to hit ASI. And China, obviously, I don't think their rhetoric is the same, so as blunt as the West. But there is this race. And from a security perspective, I think the danger that we have is the fear from the West of someone beating them to this type of superior technology could lead to some type of nuclear situation.
Okay. So
Right.
we need to control it in some way or put rules in.
Well, I think when we look at Western culture, they're doing everything to just win without thinking about what the impact of this is actually going to be on human beings, and whether there is going to be an impact. I mean, at the moment, we've got these platforms that have been trained on everything that we do as human beings, and if we look at it from the perspective of we've got 7 companies or 7 individuals, one of them's just become a trillionaire.
Yes.
Which is kind of mind-boggling when you think about it.
Yes.
But then these people are ultimately controlling 8 billion people
Yes.
through this system. I think that's incredibly dangerous.
You're right.
And then if we're looking at where this is leading to, the next thing is they're talking about driverless cars. So the biggest employer in any country is driving, right? And then delivery type situations. We've got drones coming in. We've got driverless cars coming in. What does that actually mean for lower skilled workers? Mm-hmm. Right. So I know we're talking about security, but this is how I would look at it.
Yes.
What does that actually mean? And then at the top, we've got all these people parading around and saying how brilliant their businesses are. But at the bottom, what's going on? Because nobody actually really understands that within all of these businesses, AI has to be trained on imagery and data. And there's individuals in third world countries that are looking at probably some of the most disgusting imagery that you could possibly think about. From all types of perspectives.
Yes.
And these companies are allowing that to happen to these people in countries where their ethics are quite lax.
Yes.
Right, so they'll be getting paid a pittance, and if they talk about what they do, they could end up in prison.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that. So when we talk about the potential of AI, yes, it looks amazing. But then if all of us lose our jobs in 10 years' time because AI is taking over everything, and we're talking about universal basic income, are these 7 people going to want to pay 8 billion people to just stay at home and relax and have a good time? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we're heading to a cliff. And I think it's a really dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Security-wise, I think as this technology improves, I think from a security perspective, we're going to be in danger, because at some point we could do it already. They'll be able to replicate your voice, so you could phone me as an AI and say that I need £100 or I need £10,000. I'm in a really dire position, and people could use it for nefarious types of situations. I've been saying to families that have a personal code that you will share, and it changes every month or whatever.
Yeah. So that's possibly what needs to happen. As it evolves, we need to evolve with it, and as there's more issues and more copying the voice, copying what you're doing, you evolve with that process to keep it safe. But until you actually, because there'll be some people who get ripped off or whatever, but there was always people getting ripped off with the telephone, people getting ripped off with WhatsApp, people cloning WhatsApps. One of my partners had a WhatsApp cloned as well, So, and then you evolve into something else to protect yourself. So I'm hearing that, and I totally agree. It's going to be challenging as it evolves.
I think, it's going to be extremely challenging, because most people you hear this acronym AI all the time. Some people are fed up with it already. Some people are warning of the dangers of it, and some people are embracing it. I'd say embrace it because it's technology that we're not going to be able to live without. It's going to be like the internet very soon.
Yeah,
It's just one of those things that we have to, as a black community, we need to embrace it.
Yeah.
When you look at most of the people who represent AI, you don't really see that many black people, right, involved in this space. Although in America there's probably loads of people, I don't know, but in the UK I don't see that many.
Okay.
I just think everybody needs to look at this technology and become aware of what it can do and how it's going to change. It's going to change everybody's life. Yeah,
for sure. It's evolving so quickly, and it's changed my life. The way how I think about, like at home, I don't have any. I used to have a drawer with a lot of the items I buy, and I keep the paperwork in there. Now I just, like, for instance, we got a washing machine, we keep this, we've got this, we keep that. Now I tend to just get rid of them, and if I've got an issue, we changed the washing machine last week, and I just took a picture of it, uploaded it onto ChatGTP. It told me what model, what to get, where you can buy it, delivery, everything on there. So you don't need to necessarily have all the paperwork and things like that nowadays. So it's certainly changed a lot of my perspective. And before we came on here, I noticed you was asking the AI some of the items to do with things which are not working correctly, so it guides you on what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I was at a conference yesterday, and one of the guys that was speaking, he was saying things like, I don't really type anymore. Right. I talk to AI.
Okay.
All the time. And there's lots of platforms out there that will enable you to do that. So I think all of us, we just need to look at AI and think about it like when you've ever watched Star Trek.
Yes.
Or even the latest Star Treks, they're talking to the ship.
Yes.
The ship's talking back.
Yes.
Or at some point, if some of the actors out there, they have a brain chip or link, so you just think a thought and something's going to happen.
Yes.
I mean, technology, in terms of sci-fi, we've probably seen where this is going to go. We haven't touched on robotics yet, and humanoid type robotics, and then we're looking at cyborgs, where perhaps human beings are becoming part machine as well. Okay. So there's this whole new world, which we'll probably see more and more of over the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Yes.
Robots are slowly starting to come in. And most people will be like, well, it's, most of AI is not going to affect my job. But if you've got a robot, I mean, I was at an airport not that long ago, and I saw this kind of like wheelie bin thing rolling around and cleaning up the place by itself. You've got restaurants now that have AI inside of them.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, okay, so the people are sitting on the fence thinking, no, it's not going to affect me. This technology is going to affect everybody's life. And there's people who want to avoid it. Well, it's a bit like...
No, it's not possible to avoid it, because a friend of mine was in a restaurant last week, and a small robot brought the drink to the table, and then you put your drink on it and it went away. And if that is, you're saying you're not embracing it, you're paying online to buy the ticket for this. I mean, everything's pushing in that speed, that direction to get things. I think the cinema, they don't allow you to bring cash in there, in the ones what I go to anyway, things like that. So everything's just forced into picking up your phone and ordering. When you're buying things, buy things on Amazon, you're not buying it, you're buying a picture of it, and you're paying up front. Then they source it and tell you when they're going to deliver. It's amazing. Yeah, the world has changed rapidly. But it's bringing it onto the positive side now. If you have two companies, one was embracing it and one what isn't embracing it, eventually there's going to be a gap in between. For instance, the one who's embracing it might do 25 tasks, and the one what isn't, they might do 3 or 4 tasks in a day. What's your thoughts with that?
Look, again, we've got all these sound bites out about the technology itself, right? So if your company embraces it, you won't get left behind. You know, all those types of things, which I think it's just scaremongering, to be honest.
Okay.
I think if you're a business and you work really well as a business, AI might help you do things a little bit. It might make you a bit more efficient. It might make you faster. It might help you to make more money. But your competitor, if they're not embracing it and they've always been doing well, they're still going to continue to do well. I don't see any difference. I think as a technology, if you're a business, it makes sense to explore what this can do for you. But you're always going to find businesses where there is no point in them embracing the technology because it's not really going to do anything for them. You know, I've come across businesses where you can sit down and talk to them till they're blue in the face. They're not going to change.
Yeah.
There's no need for them to change.
Yes.
And they're not worried about an impact at this moment in time of a robot taking over their job. So, you know, when you listen to some of the podcasts or shows or people speaking out there, they're saying, what's the safest type of job? It's a plumber's job or electrician. But everything's going to be impacted at a certain point.
Yes.
I think we've just got a lot of noise around AI.
Yeah.
There's so much noise that's like, oh, you've got to do this and you haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is start to understand what this technology is. If you can embrace it and you've got time to embrace it. One of the problems with smaller businesses is they haven't got time. They don't have time. It's like, you know, that you're too busy doing what you know how to do. And then sometimes you implement a tool, which is, I find crazy, and that's the reason why there's a need for someone like me. You implement a tool, and within a month, you're not using that tool anymore.
Okay.
Because it's not relevant. It's not relevant to your business. But someone sold it to you, oh, this will help you to do X, Y, and Z. But really?
Yeah.
Right, so you have to analyze a business before you can say what's going to happen with that business.
Cool.
So my thing is, I'm never going to go into a business with a preconceived idea of this is who you are and this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know, I might be able to look at 2 painters and decorators and say, yes, they do the same thing, but they might do things in a completely different way.
Yes.
So I need to understand someone's business before I can say what the impact is going to be. And there's businesses that will not necessarily need to do anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like having that honest conversation. Then you've got other people who are looking at it and thinking, well, everyone's talking about it, so maybe I need to look at what it can do for my business. And there's no harm in looking at this technology, because this technology at some point in all of our lives within the next 10 years, if not sooner, is going to impact every single thing that we do.
Fantastic. Before I ask my last question, I know you also do training courses, because you mentioned that off air as well, and that is something what if someone wants to get involved with it, they could approach you. Where can they find you? How do they get in touch with you if they're wanting to?
Right, so at the moment, I started off doing training courses. I still do them.
Yes.
Right, but I've kind of changed the way that I do them because there's lots of people out there who are going to provide training courses, and I don't want to get caught up in that melee.
Yes.
So most of the stuff that I will do it will revolve around your business.
Yes.
So the people who come and sit down with me will look at their business. And again, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. And it might be that there's specific types of things that you want to do. And then I can show you how to do those specific things that are going to have an impact on your business.
Yes.
If it doesn't have an impact on your business, or it doesn't work for your business, there's no point in you understanding how to do something just for the sake of understanding how to do it.
Yes.
So everything that we do at Unfiltered is all based around your business. So let's say that we find a few issues and challenges. and we say, well, these are the types of tools that could fix the problems.
Yes.
So we might run training that's going to show you how to use those tools. So, for instance, I'll go into schools. I've worked with a few special education needs schools.
Yes.
Where we go in, and the teachers, they don't know as much about AI as some of the students. So that can be a challenge. But then getting them up to speed with Copilot, because most schools are going to go down a Microsoft route.
Yes.
For the reasons that I mentioned before, GDPR compliance.
Okay.
But most people don't understand why they're going down those roads. You know, it's like, why can't we use ChatGPT? Well, there's lots of reasons why you can and lots of reasons why you can't. And it's helping you to understand how and why you have to use specific tools within your business. And if you're not compliant with some of those tools, what the impact could be when things go wrong.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, I'll just use a tool within my business, and that tool, if you don't understand how to use that tool correctly, could have negative impact, because you might be doing something, you're not switched off data sharing, and bits and pieces of your information could end up somewhere where it shouldn't be.
Yes. Yes.
So it's understanding what tools to use, why you're using those particular tools, and making sure it has a positive impact on your business.
Yes. Yes.
And that's literally what I would do. So in terms of training, going back to it, yes, we provide training, but again, it's based around your business.
Okay, fantastic. But you're online, you're on LinkedIn and Facebook, etc. I believe that because I connected with you on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I'm going to be more on LinkedIn, right? So one of the things that's happened recently, I took my website down. So when you go to Unfiltered, you're not going to see a website.
Okay.
So there's a new one. I think it should have some words along the lines, you know, exciting things coming, something like that.
Yes.
But in the next week or so,
yes,
we'll have a brand new website up, and that's going to be an audit-led website.
Beautiful.
So what I'll do is I'll sit in the middle as a strategist, or however you want to say it, and I'll find out all the issues, and I've got partners that I can say, right, if you're looking for some type of CRM solution. Yes. If you're big enough as an organisation, then I'll point you in the direction of CRM. If you're looking for training, specific types of training, then I'll have training providers who I can point you in the direction with. Or if it's something bespoke, something that I do as well. Yeah. But I sit in the middle and come up with. So if you want some type of automation for your business, or you want to develop an application, then I've got different people who I work with that can deliver those types of services. I don't look at myself like this. AI is one of these things where, you know, I could call myself an expert, but I'm not. There's no expert, because this technology is changing so fast. It's frightening. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So what you know today is going to be redundant tomorrow, and positioning. It's like I like ethics. Yeah. I like to look at the ethics side of things and bias them. So I'm writing a book at the moment, or I've written a book. I'm just finishing it, called. It's again called Frankenstein's Children. Oh, lovely! Right, it's myths, biases, ethics, and I can't remember the end of it. But I should remember this. But it's called Frankenstein's Children, and it's a really good book which looks at, you know, the impact that AI is going to have on our lives, and the biases that's already inside of AI. So we've got people who. Have put together this concept of this knowledge base, and a lot of the knowledge or the information is quite negative towards specific people, right? And it's kind of like, how do you overcome that? Yeah. So you've got HR people or recruitment people trying to implement AI into their recruitment, and then wondering why it all goes wrong, why they're only recruiting specific types of people, why they're writing off specific types of people. Yes. We're walking into this dangerous world where people are thinking, right, we can just give it to AI. But you can't, because it's not ready. Yeah. And whether it will ever be ready is something that we'll find out very soon. Yeah. But what I look at is that you've got government and you've got policy which seems to want to throw these things out. And then when it breaks and hurts people, you'll pull it back in and say sorry. And I don't agree with that. Yeah. So Yeah, so that's literally where I am.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let me just ask you my last question, Des. Then, you wrote a book. You're doing incredible things with tech creativity. How would you like to be remembered?
We've got a massive project on at the moment with we're kind of working with the UN, and we're looking at helping to educate 100 million children in Africa. You know, we built a platform. I can't really talk about it that much.
Yes.
Which will improve the capability of children being able to learn, right? So I look at the UK and the education platform in the UK, which is a legacy system. You've got one teacher, 35 children in a room, and the today's children, their attention span is probably 30 seconds.
Yes.
And they're expected to sit in a room for an hour, 45 minutes and listen to a teacher drone on. We've not moved on in terms of education, primarily because there's so many people invested in this old legacy system which doesn't work and has never really worked. It works for a few children who've got good memories, because that's basically what education, or this is not. It's not intelligence, it's memory.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas I think Africa, because there's so many issues around education, you know, they've got 15 million teacher shortage across Africa. So you can't even imagine 15 million, let alone think there's 15 million teachers that they need, that they're short of. So it's insane. But the thing is, as much as they have a legacy system in terms of what education is, it's not fully embedded. It's like, you know, if Africa can look at change, it's going to be able to implement that change faster.
Yes.
So we're trying to implement and look at ways that you can implement.
Okay.
Position that change. And I think in the coming months, that's going to be something that you'll hear about more and more and more. There's a company that I've set up called Legacy AI, and we're going to be pushing that concept a lot more. And then when you hear what the concept is, you'll understand it.
Yes.
But we're trying to build things like mindset, entrepreneurship, money, the tools that children. So Africa in the next 10 years, 15 years, 25% of the world population will be African.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Yes.
And yet, look at the problems and challenges. So if you've got 100 million people with no access to the internet, no access to real education, then you've got 2,000 languages that are not being accessed by any of the platforms at all. They're just not accessible. I think anyone who can solve some of those problems, and which is what we're trying to do, that would be a great thing to be remembered for.
Beautiful. That's fantastic. Well, Dez Mighty, thank you for your time today, and I wish you all the success and prosperity in your pursuits. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time today.